We've been playing around with all the fun stitches in the Bernina 880s buttonhole menu, and there's two extra stitches here called eyelets, 61 and 62. So the last thing I did was I actually stitched our button on with stitch number 60. So that's why foot number 18 is showing on my screen. That's a foot that comes with it. That's your button sew on foot. And eyelets are something I love to add in our Bernina Stitching Cosmos online course. We love to string ribbon or yarns through the holes, and eyelets are a great way to do it. So I'm going to show you a couple things. Now, I love to actually pull out my open toe foot when I'm doing eyelets. I can see kind of where I'm starting and stopping and make it just perfect. The other thing that's key for buttonholes or such is stabilizer. So make sure you always have some stabilizer underneath your fabric. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this foot on. I'm going to choose 61, and again it brings up a red stitch. It says definitely do not stitch this with foot number 18 on. It wouldn't even let me sew if I wanted to. Number 18, let's change it to 20. Oh wait, look, 20, our open toe foot is the recommended foot. I was actually ahead of the machine, that's awesome. But that's the one that it recommends. So now we can see an eyelet. You can actually change an eyelet to be any width actually. So you can make it narrower. Obviously 9 millimeters is as wide as it will go, but watch this. You can actually make it longer. So you can make more of an oval eyelet. Anything that you need to put like a ring through, shower curtain ring or something that you need to kind of connect with some other items. Holes like this need to be contained, and eyelets are a perfect way to do it. And then of course 62 is a straight stitch eyelet. Once again, it can be turned into a oval. I have seen these being used for like fish bubbles, and you just want to stitch them around. Eyelets are another use, could be used to like instead of tying a quilt with yarns and a knot, you can actually go across your quilt and stitch an eyelet in every square, and it's actually sews out so quickly. So eyelet, 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 and you'd be going through batting in the back, and those fabrics would stay kind of held together. So if you weren't really wanting to machine quilt the quilt, you were going to tie it, you could actually, you might say, tie the quilt with these stitches. You could use a decorative stitch too if you're thinking along that line and you never thought of using your machine for that type of technique. Use a decorative stitch. Just make sure that you kind of activate the locking feature for the beginning and end of that stitch. That is something that is built into an eyelet. So we're going to stitch out the eyelets in their default settings here on this fabric with the stabilizer underneath. So don't blink, they do stitch out very quickly. I'm going to use the stop button, and then just to let you kind of see, this is the satin stitch eyelet. It does do a little line all the way around that it then goes back and secures, and then all you have to do is use your scissor button to finish it off. I'm using some variegated thread, and I can see already I love the look of variegated eyelets. I don't think I've actually done that before, but I might have to on my next Stitching Cosmos online course quilt that I'll be working on shortly. All right, so that's how it is. You just kind of keep stitching. Let's pick that other one, a straight stitch eyelet, and we'll watch it stitch out. And again, remember, all these could be changed to different shapes depending on what you are actually needing there. Touch and hold that stop button until it starts. This is a triple straight stitch, so it's very dramatic, and yet it's so perfect, coming all the way back to where it started. Now, if it didn't come back to where it started on any one of these, remember you have a balance feature where you can actually change how the feeding is as it comes back around, so it does come back and touch exactly where it started. That would be located in the eye for information, and the scales, that's your balance function. And here's how you actually do it, is let's say your eyelet turned out and it came out like this. It tried to come all the way around, but it didn't get all the way back to where it started. What you do in balance is you kind of use the knobs to make the picture look like the problem you see on the fabric. Not that we have a problem, but if we did, we'd match the two, and the machine will actually correct the problem. So it knows that if it's seeing this, or you're seeing that, then it will adjust the feeding so it turns out like it should. So balance is great, because if you do have fabrics that are maybe a little bit of a bumpy part to them, like a corduroy, or you might run into some of those oddities where it doesn't turn out just perfect. So same thing, if we went back to our stitch 61 and balance that one, you'll see that you could adjust it so if it didn't turn out, you could have the perfect eyelet with just a touch of a button. If any of these videos have been helpful for you, make sure you give us a thumbs up, click on like, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, all the information of our online courses, like the Bernina Stitching Cosmos, is all linked up below, and you can watch 10 videos for free.